Today I'll be talking about my 150-hour update on Dreaming Spanish. I have all my notes here, so if you see me looking this direction, it's because I have just laid out a bunch of topics that I can make sure I cover everything as efficiently as possible. Okay, my background for learning Spanish, or why do I want to learn Spanish? So when I was 18, I was monolingual and I only knew one language, which was English, of course. I used to work as a professional gamer at 18 years old. And during that time, I got a chance to have a contract with the Japanese team. And I moved to Japan. And I lived there for about 3 years. But during that time, I lived with, roomed with, talked to everyday Japanese people, pretty much 16 hours a day. So I was always doing Japanese, and I really immersed myself then. Using that method, I was able to get a pretty good grasp on Japanese. I would say I'm around B1, B2 at a conversational capacity. I can't read or write very well, but when it comes to everyday conversation, I'm very comfortable talking about most things. And I felt like my accent was actually quite good. I am half Japanese, and for a bit of my childhood as well, my mom would speak to me in Japanese, but I would never respond in Japanese. I was a passive Japanese listener for like the first part of my life. So once I started speaking Japanese, it felt like everything flowed pretty smoothly. Yeah, so I am a big believer in this method, which brings me on to why I've decided to fully commit and speedrun this method. So I'm doing 4 hours a day, and I started on January the 23rd. So today is the 2nd of March, and I have 153 hours starting today, and by the end of today I will have 157 hours. I just added an extra hour because I go a little bit over each time, and it kind of adds up a bit. It's been around 6 or 7 weeks since I first started. Yeah, now I'm 150 hours, so I want to make a progress video for each milestone that I hit. 150, 300, 600, 1000, everything. I still didn't say why I'm learning Spanish. I love the culture, all the main things like culture, the people, but more than that, it feels like every time I watch someone speak Spanish or see them speak Spanish, they have way more confidence. And throughout my life, I haven't had the greatest amount of confidence in social situations. So I felt like this might be a roundabout way of doing it, but I did want to learn Spanish to open myself up more to those kind of possibilities and just see what kind of warmness you can receive when you understand and see people more in their own culture and in their own language, such as Spanish. And Spanish people are very famously known to be very accommodating, so maybe down the line, I'm not sure, I can just go through Spanish-speaking countries and see what's good or not. So why speedrun in the first place? Why speedrun? Well, for me, this is my personal opinion, but I think just committing fully to it will help you immerse yourself so much more. If you do 4 hours a day, that's a quarter of your day that's fully in Spanish, and you start thinking in Spanish, you start having internal monologues in Spanish, you start seeing things differently, and that's what I want to do. I feel like if I just do 1 hour a day, it takes me like 5 to 10 minutes to get into the groove of it. So I would find it hard to do it. So this is just my way of doing it, and I wanted to know, like, after 1 year, I'll have roughly 1,500 hours. After 2 years, I'll have roughly 3,000 hours if I continue doing this amount of hours every day. I just wanted to have my peace of mind knowing that if I continue doing this every day and have the discipline to do it every day for a year or two, I will maybe making massive strides, and that kind of motivates me more as opposed to just doing 1 hour a day. But obviously there's nothing wrong with doing that as long as you're consistently hitting your goal. Yeah, you will eventually reach the goal. But I mean, obviously doing 4 hours a day comes with its own drawbacks. So let me show you my best tips for burnouts and just tips in general for comprehensible input. Firstly, for burnout in general. So when you do 4 hours a day, you can't just add this to the end of the day. Say, for example, you do 30 minutes. You can say, okay, at the end of the day, I'm just going to do 30 minutes, whatever. You can't do that with 4 hours. That's just not going to happen. So you actually have to start scheduling your day around getting this in. And it's great for discipline, which is something I'm a big lover of. Like, I don't even know the English word for it, big proponent of. Okay, other tips I have is the quality of your hours really do matter. I had a 5 to 10 hours where I wasn't really paying too much attention to the videos, and I felt like I really did not progress that well during that time. So now I can show you how many hours I have just through Dreaming Spanish itself. So you can see here, I have literally 1 hour outside the platform, 2 Spanish Boost gaming videos, and 3 Quentame episodes. It's basically what this is comprised of. And as you can see, I'm level 3 and I started on January 23rd. That was my first full day. And every day since then, I've hit 4 hours for my goal. And today is March the 2nd, and I have just hit 150 hours, give or take a few hours. And yeah, here's the stats so you can see that I'm correct. I can refresh the page just to show you that this is not fake. These are my actual hours, actual stats. Now, where am I at on the Dreaming Spanish difficulty scale? Right, I'm watching every single... Oh, this is my other tip. So when you watch videos, watch from the easiest to the hardest, and I'll show an example here of how you can get the filters to do it that way. But if you start from the very easiest videos and work your way up, you will pretty much find no big leap or difference between super beginner, beginner, intermediate. It's all just like a steady stream of incremental difficulty increase. So that's the best way to do it, and that's what I've been doing. Right now, I've cleared everything up until 38 or 37, 38, give or take. So yeah, that's where I'm at after this. I think I can probably comprehensively input up to 44, somewhere around that range. Anything above that would probably not be worth my time, but I have watched a few videos around 44, 45. I watched like the Time Bomb series they have where Augustine and Shelson playing a game. That's pretty good too. Those ones I can still understand to a decent capacity. Other resources. I don't really use other resources. I honestly don't like podcasts that much because I feel like the quality of my hours aren't as good when I'm using it. So, but of course, like the main ones are Quentame. There's Spanish Boost Gaming, but I used to play League a lot, and I watched his one League video. I know it's not about the gameplay, but I just had trouble like watching through the things, and I pretty much only play League, so I did watch his other videos. They were pretty nice. Like, he is a very funny guy. But yeah, I just didn't find too much enjoyment outside of this stuff. Plus, I've been really enjoying Augustine's content. I think she has content that's like most up my alley, and so I just continue to watch her stuff. For Reddit, I will write this all in text, so if you prefer reading, I'll probably put this at the start of the video, but if you prefer reading, I have a Reddit link below that I'll put, and you can see the text version of this video basically summarized. This is more of a niche topic, but anyone who's doing any endurance sport training, this is such a good use of time. I'm currently training for an Ironman, and I'm doing that in June 14th. So during that time, I do like bike sessions anywhere from 1 to 5 hours. And if you just do indoor bike sessions and you're studying Spanish all the time, I've literally done an entire day's worth of Spanish working while I'm also doing a 5-hour bike ride. So that's like literally both my things that I need to do for the day done, and it's only 5 hours of time. That is perfect. It's honestly so good. I want to get to a level where I can run and listen to comprehensible input, but right now Quentame is just, I don't know. I would rather enjoy my run, but I think it's great. Anything but swimming, even just going to the gym for normal weightlifting is good for getting like little tidbits of information here, comprehensive input here and there. If you do endurance sport, this is really great, and honestly just putting on your Spanish while you're doing those long slog sessions is just a perfect way to get more hours. I kind of touched on this before, but yeah, if you do 4 hours a day, I did the mathematics here, so that's 1 year is around 1,460 hours. So if I do that for 2 years, I will be around 2,900 hours, and 3,000 hours seems to be like the magical fluency number. Not fluency, but huge comfortability with the language. So I'm hoping after 2 years, I'll be completely comfortable, and I'm also wanting to move to South America in about a year. So I hope during that time, I can look to find a way to use my Spanish skills to, just see what, not necessarily opportunities, but just opportunities to use my Spanish and see how I can connect with people. That would be great. And also, I would love to talk with anyone who's doing... Oh my god, what is that? I would love to talk with anyone who's doing anything similar. I just love everything to do with this. I look at all the YouTube videos of these progress updates, so I wanted to contribute my own in case anyone else was looking to see how they would feel at this point, track their progress against mine, or anyone who's... Oh my god, this is so... Yeah, anyone who wants to track their progress, or just watch for entertainment, because that's what I do too. And I kind of want to like give back by making my own journey documentation, but it's fun to do anyway. So I'll probably end up doing every 150 hours, but I know I will definitely be doing it for every level milestone. I don't really know what else to say there is. If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer everyone below. I appreciate you watching. If you have things you want to see for next video or the next update, then I was considering doing like a live translation reaction here, but I'm just not sure like how useful that is for people to see. But if that's something that people want to see, then next time I'll like just put myself reacting and editing, reacting to videos and then translating the phrases live to show you just what level of Spanish you can become in that amount of time. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I did do around 13 episodes of language transfer before I found Dreaming Spanish. So just keep that in mind. I did have a little bit of experience with other words before I did it, and every now and then I do look up definitions of words, especially I don't know what it's called, but the words that join the sentences together, such as like so, although, those kind of words from English. I did look up the word for although in Spanish because I heard it a lot and I was thinking, what is that? What is that? It was really messing with my brain, so I just looked it up, and suddenly it just became so much clearer. So I'm very glad I did that, and I think I will continue to do that. But for most of it, I let my brain do most of the work, just contextualizing most of the sentences by itself. Yeah, I think by the time I do my Ironman, which is June 14th, I should have roughly 600 hours. So I'm excited to have done Ironman and also have 600 hours. I think that I forgot to mention the beginner hours are so hard to get through. It is a real grind. It is a huge slog. I've watched pretty much every super beginner video. Every beginner video. I mean, don't get me wrong, like most of the content is amazing. It's really good, and I'm really grateful that this platform exists for that, but God, some of the videos are so hard to get through. But the way I get through it is I tell myself, okay, this is a perfect opportunity to get input about makeup, for example. Like I literally have never used makeup, nor do I care to use makeup ever. So when I see the makeup videos, I'm like, oh my goodness. It's rough to get through them, but it's like these words are still important to learn. And if I don't watch these videos, then I'll have never heard them. I'll never be able to recognize them later on in sentences I hear, and it would just be a mess. So it's worth it, even if it's hard to get through. It's still worth it. Oh yeah, my other reason is learning Spanish unlocks so much world DLC. Like if you learn Spanish, you've unlocked 21 Spanish-speaking countries. Just so many people speak Spanish in like every other country as well. Actually, honestly, Australia probably has the least amount of Spanish-speaking people, which is where I'm from. But even then, just being able to connect with that many people is worthwhile in itself to spend all this time. Yeah, I think that's all for this video. As I said before, if you have any ideas for what you want me to say or do for next time, then let me know in the comments. I'll try and answer them in the comments if I can. Thank you very much for watching this video, and yeah, just make sure you stay consistent, because nothing is as good as the way progress feels.